There's a reason why more Americans are watching Fox News Channel. Every breaking report.
We have uncovered new leads on the gunman's ugly motive.
The city in mourning, people in shock.
ISIS is claiming responsibility.
Creator and host of The Great American Story. Join me every Saturday from noon to 2 and enjoy the true and unusual stories of our exceptional nation's amazing past and the people who made it happen. That's The Great American Story. Every Saturday from noon to 2, right here on AM 1410 KMYC, The Patriot. And in the meantime, visit us on the web at thegreatamericансtorywithbobday.com.
Hi, Mike Rayford here, a.k.a. Mike the Wine Guy, host of The Good Life Show, where we discuss food, wine, travel, and lifestyle. Every Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. right here on KMYC, 1410 a.m. You can also listen online at KMYCradio.com and MikeTheWineGuy.com, as well as follow me on Facebook. That's The Good Life Show every Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. on KMYC, 1410 a.m. The Patriot.
And politicians. He was often quoted in the congressional record as he was in this recording from 1925.
And I received a wire this week from a congressman friend of mine who wants a copy of my plan to read into congressional record. And I feel pretty good about that. That's the highest praise that a humorist can have, is to get your stuff into congressional record. You see, ordinarily you got to work your way up as a humorist and first get into Congress, and then you work on up into the Senate, and then if your stuff is funny enough, it goes into the congressional record. But for an outsider to get in there as a humorist without having served his apprenticeship in either the House or the Senate, well, I'm not bragging, but by golly, I feel pretty big about it.
Stay tuned to hear more history as it unfolds before your ears. It's the audio archives of Fox News Talk.
You're listening to the station that's been owned and operated by your friends and neighbors for over 72 years.
Big 14. 5 in a row. Come on, baby. Let's boogie.
Number one then, and number one in local talk now.
Join me, Paul Preston, for Agenda 21 Radio.
I'm Bob Day, host of The Great American Story.
And listening to The Good Life with me, Mike the Wine Guy.
Hey, this is Live with Lou, broadcasting high atop Mount Huth.
KMYC, 1410 AM, Marysville, Yuba City.
And on the 58,357,941st day, God looked down and said, "What the hell happened to my paradise?" So God made the state of Jefferson. God said, "I need people who will work all day at the mills, see their jobs legislated out of existence, then still suffering from unemployment, rig a pump to bypass the head gates after government thugs shut off the water to the ranches. People to carry guns in public, film cops, hold public meetings, sign petitions, write the local papers, start podcasts, YouTube channels, and radio shows to inform everyone on how their rights are being eroded, then being mocked or called crazy, is still continually being proven right with each story in the news or piece of arbitrary legislation handed down from Sacramento." So God made the state of Jefferson. God said, "I need people who will lose the rights to their natural resources to state agencies, then watch the forest burn down every year. People to be told they can't be trusted with more than 10 rounds, start a business without paying the state their cut, fill out these forms, wait in line, pay these fees, and then hope they don't become felons overnight with a stroke of a legislator's pen. People whose voices are drowned out by big cities and special interests." So God made the state of Jefferson. God said, "I need people who will look around and realize their freedom is being lost, get pissed off about it, challenge the status quo, and when told that's never going to happen, say just you wait, and mean it." So God made the state of Jefferson. God said, "I need people to get licensed, permitted, taxed, fined, regulated, restricted, registered, speak truth to power, get arrested for it, come out with the charges dropped, then go to work and look at their paychecks and see how much of it they're being forced to pay for. People to bring communities together with the love and support of the common dream of the double cross flying in the morning sun. People who will laugh and then sigh when their children say, 'We don't want to grow up living off the hand of California,' and reply, 'That is the right state of mind.' So God made the state of Jefferson."
Jeffersonians. Welcome to Radio Free Jefferson. This is the radio show that's proclaiming liberty and statehood and morality in government throughout Northern California unto all the inhabitants thereof. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Santos Vigil. I will be your host for this hour. As usual, we are broadcasting from high atop the ramparts of Fort Mount Huth by the dawn's early light in East Linda, Jefferson. And I welcome you and thank you for tuning in. Got a lot to talk about on this edition of Radio Free Jefferson. This past week we had a meeting with the Sutter County chapter of the state of Jefferson up at the Church of Glad Tidings, and we got a lot accomplished. We established some committees and we assigned some duties and things of that nature. So we're moving forward with the state of Jefferson in Sutter County. I was elected to be the chair for the Business Development Committee, and in that vein, we will be looking for businesses that are willing to promote the state of Jefferson openly, whether it be with some sort of banner on their fence around their property or on their property, a yard sign on their property, a window sign in the window, flyers on their front counter that people can pick up to learn more about the state of Jefferson. So if you are a business owner and that appeals to you, give us a call here at 742-5555. Area code is 530-742-5555. And I'll be here till 9 o'clock. You can talk to me up until then. After then, you can either call me on my cell phone at 701-0486 or come to our next meeting, which will be on August 29th, again at the Church of Glad Tidings. This will be in our two-story building at the north end of our parking lot, the building 500. Upstairs, the northernmost rooms 210 and 212. So come on out and see what it's all about. See if you want to get involved with the state of Jefferson, have your business promoted so that other Jeffersonians will come to you first when they're looking for a product or a good or a service. I was driving back from Gridley the other day. I had a job interview up there, and I saw a banner on a fence outside a business. So I thought to myself, well, this is almost like cherry picking. I'm going to go ahead and go in there, talk to these people, and see if I can put some flyers on their counter, invite them to the next meeting, and all that good stuff. So I went in there, and there was a couple of nice ladies at the counter, and so I mentioned that I was with the Sutter County State of Jefferson Committee, and I saw their banner on the fence, and boy, they just got all excited about, yeah, we love the state of Jefferson. We're tired of doing business with California, all their regulations and this, that. That was about the last thing I said for the next 2 or 3 minutes. So I asked them if it'd be okay if I came back with some flyers to put on their counter. And they were all excited about it. Yeah, sure, bring them out. Bring your flyers out. We can put them out for you. I said, great. And so I mentioned to them, well, another thing we're doing is we're putting together a directory of businesses that support the state of Jefferson. And man, all of a sudden, their total demeanor changed, and they started going, no, we don't want to be a part of no directory. We don't want to be on no list. That's too political. I said, well, no, it's not a political list. It's a directory like your Yellow Pages or anything along those lines. It's no, we don't want to drive away customers. We don't want to drive. And I said, well, actually, this would be driving customers to you. This would be other Jeffersonians, and that was about the last thing I was able to say again before they practically didn't exactly kick me out of there, but I could tell them my spiel was going nowhere with them, and that just kind of reminded me of some of the things we run into in regards to the state of Jefferson. People want to support it, but then they don't want it known that they support it, and while they were going off about not wanting to be on a directory or a list or anything, because they didn't want to drive away customers, all I could think of was, what about that banner on your fence? Aren't you worried about that? But I didn't say that. I didn't want to put any thoughts in their mind. And so now I'm second guessing myself. I don't know if I want to go back there and put out flyers on their counter, because I think at the first sign of imperial trouble, they may just throw those things away or something. I don't know. They're just a little too timid for my tastes. And not being a business owner, I can still sympathize with those who don't want to drive customers away, who don't want customers to not do business with them because of the state of Jefferson. People are it's kind of a strange thing. It's like, kind of reminds me of the whole Donald Trump thing. I think more people support Donald Trump than want it known. And hopefully, yeah. We'll see in November, I guess. Anyway, thanks again for tuning in to Radio Free Jefferson. My name is Santos Vigil. This is KMYC Radio, and you can listen in on KMYCradio.com or also MikeTheWineGuy.com. And speaking of Mike the Wine Guy, he's up in Downeyville today for an event called it's called the Brew Fest. I'm sure it's got a longer name than that. I didn't write it all down. But he's going to call in a little while. Mike the Wine Guy has a radio show from 2 to 4 p.m. called The Good Life with Mike the Wine Guy Rayford. And he'll be calling in a short while to, well, first of all, to do a sound check to see if we have a connection. We don't know if he has cell phone service up there in Downeyville. So we're either going to try to Skype in a show or just use a landline. So stay tuned for that. Mike will tell you all about what's going on up in Downeyville, and then tune in from 2 to 4 p.m. for The Good Life with Mike the Wine Guy. After Radio Free Jefferson, it's Live with Lou Benninger from 9 to noon, and then The Great American Story with Bob Day from noon to 2 p.m. And then during the week, make sure you tune in from 7 to 10 p.m. for Agenda 21 Radio with Paul Preston to get all the update on what's going on during the week. And I want to say hi to my friends out at Feather River Men's Center, Dennis and the crew. Listen in every Saturday. I ran into an old friend I hadn't seen in probably a good 5 years. A guy named Philip who owns a company in town called Excellent Excelsior. And he sells that stuff that you put in your evaporative coolers, that spongy sort of corrugated cardboardy stuff that soaks up full of water and draws in that nice cool air from outside and blows it inside your house. So, hi, Philip. Hope you're listening this morning. Thanks. It was good to run into you again. Looked to me like you dyed your hair a little bit white since the last time I saw you. I've been wanting to do that, but I don't know. Don't want to be that extreme just yet. And so I sort of dye my hair a little bit gray here and there. I don't want to. I haven't got the courage to go full white just yet, but eventually I probably will. So it's good to see you, Phil. And let's see here. What else do I have going on here? Oh, at the last meeting, the Sutter County Committee for State of Jefferson. We also are in the process of developing a new website. So be looking for that to be out soon. In the meantime, you can still check what's going on in the state of Jefferson by going to soj51.net. That's SOJ and then the numerals 51.net, and that'll give you all the information on what's happening as far as events, how to get involved, how to donate, and all kinds of good information. So for the time being, the Sutter County Committee is under the committee button on SOJ 51, but soon we will have our own website. And in the meantime, remember to go to soj51.net and click on the 51sters button to get involved with the effort to get the word out about the state of Jefferson. By clicking on that button there, you'll come up with a list of legislators' names for you to call and let them know that you want them to support the state of Jefferson when it comes up on the House floor or in committee. Although for the time being, we are pursuing a lawsuit to sort of force their hand, but we still need to keep those phone calls and letters coming in to build our case for the court case. And of course, that's going to cost money. So make sure you go to the donate button, click on the donate button, and give towards that effort. We have 2 great lawyers that are doing a lot of work for free, but they do have to charge us something. So they are going to put that case forward for us, and it's going to cost money. So click on the donate button. Also coming up on Monday, out at the Church of Glad Tidings again. This is the it'll be the same building, building 500, room 210, 212. The Sutter Buttes Tea Party Patriots will be meeting, and our guest speaker will be the cowboy libertarian, otherwise known as Patrick Doranson. He is a talk show host on another radio station that I can't promote for ethical reasons, but the Cowboy Libertarian has a popular show on that station, and he will be out speaking to our Sutter Buttes Tea Party. It's open to everybody. You don't have to be a member of the Sutter Buttes Tea Party Patriots to participate. So come on out 6:30 Monday night. And if you are a regular member of the Sutter Buttes Tea Party Patriots, make sure that you do not go to the location we normally meet in. That would be the building we call the Well, Building 200. There will be another event going on in there. So if you go in there and you suddenly feel like you're manifesting demons or something, that's because they will be having what they call a deliverance conference going on there. So there'll be all kinds of demons being cast out in that building on Monday. So if that sort of thing weirds you out, don't go in there. But if you need demons cast out of you, by all means, just sort of sneak around in there. I don't think you'll actually be able to get in. You'd have to register for that too. But sometimes those demons can, they can hear what's going on through walls and doors and all that stuff. So if you need something cast out of you, stop by there first, and then come on over to the Tea Party meeting, so you'll be in your right frame of mind for the Cowboy Libertarian. That's Monday, 6:30 p.m., room 210, 212, building 500. That's a big two-story building at the north end of our parking lot, not the north end of our property. At the north end of our property, we have a big warehouse. Don't go there. There's a whole nother scene happening up there that you don't want to get involved with. So come on down to Glad Tidings on Monday at 6:30. Now tomorrow, out at City Cafe, CC Cellar and Suds on Plymouth Street. Oh, by the way, I want to thank the owners of City Cafe and CC Cellar and Suds for sponsoring Radio Free Jefferson. Thank you guys very much. My wife and I had dinner out there the other night at the City Cafe, and I'm telling you what, people, you gotta go there. You gotta go there. It's on Plymouth Street, between Bridge Street and Highway 20. More specifically, between Center Street and Tea Garden. Closer to Center Street, 667 Plymouth Street. And let's see what I have. I had the jambalaya. Oh my gosh. That was, first of all, it was a work of art. I mean, I've never seen a bowl of jambalaya that had little floury things sort of twisted on there, and the jumbo prawns were just it was crazy. Chicken, andouille sausage, bacon, all on a bed of locally produced rice, locally grown and harvested rice. And man, oh man, you guys, if you like jambalaya, well, if you don't like jambalaya, try it. You'll love it. I sure did. My wife had the Tuscany chicken, and that was good too. So City Cafe, thank you for sponsoring Radio Free Jefferson. Go on out there and thank them. They're one of the businesses that have the courage to let it be known that they support the state of Jefferson. So we need to support them. And let's see here. Oh, and the whole reason I brought that up, besides them being a sponsor, is there was a meet and greet at CC Cellar and Suds. This would be tomorrow, August 14th, 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. Yuba City Council candidate Jason Reichard will be conducting a meet and greet event there. Suggested donation to get in is $25, so come on out and meet Jason. He's a great guy. He's a member of the Sutter Buttes Tea Party Patriots, and he is definitely a small government kind of guy. He understands well, I'm not going to speak for him. I'll let Jason speak for himself. Let him tell you his views and thoughts on government, the proper role of government and the Constitution. So come on out and talk to him yourself. Challenge him, because Jason he likes to be challenged, and he knows what he believes, and he'll stand up for his beliefs. And I'm guessing by the end of your conversation with him, you'll be thinking the way he does. And we need more people, a lot more people. We need a lot more people to think the way Jason does. And it's a good sign that we've got young people getting involved with this movement. My board op today, as a matter of fact, this is my first time having a board op with my friend Leon Lampkin. Is a young man. I don't think he's even 20 years old yet, but he's shaking his head, so he's not even 20 years old yet, but he's interested in radio. He's getting the bug for talk radio, although says he wants to start his own classic rock. So that's kind of cool. An 18-year-old kid interested in classic rock. That's awesome. But he's getting more and more interested in politics. He asks me really good questions about the state of Jefferson and politics in general. And he's interested in all that stuff. Plus he's interested in talk radio as well. So thank you, Leon, for stepping up and being the board op out here. He's interning. He board ops for another show out here called The Dirt, and another show called Safari Real Estate, both with Lori Schultz, and they're on from 4 to 6 p.m. on Saturdays. Well, we are going to go to a break in a second, and Leon, I don't know if you have that thing loaded up, so let's go ahead and let's take that break real quick, and then we'll come back and talk more about the state of Jefferson.
I can see why you think you belong to me. I never tried to make you think or let you see one thing for yourself. But now you're off with someone else and I'm alone. You see, I thought that I might keep you for my own. Amy, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Don't you think the time is right for us to find all the things we thought weren't proper could be right in time? And can you see which way we should turn, together or alone? I can never see what's right and what is wrong. It'll take too long to see. Amy, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do.
Back to Houston. The pilot announced that the soldier would be exiting the plane, and the Iowa Ambassadors of Music Choir, with 250 musicians from across the state, broke out into the song. The video has been shared thousands of times since Diane posted it. Thank you for sharing it, and to the beautiful voices of the Iowa Ambassadors of Music Choir. Thank you for singing and honoring our fallen soldiers. Janice Dean, Fox News.
This is House Call for Health. Are you certain that the tap water you're drinking is safe? According to a new study, it's probably not. A Harvard University study found that drinking water supplies for more than 6 million Americans contain unsafe levels of industrial chemicals that have been linked to cancer and other serious health issues. The chemicals are used in products ranging from food wrappers to clothing to nonstick cookware to firefighting foams. They have been linked to an increased risk of kidney and testicular cancers, hormone disruption, high cholesterol, and obesity. One of the authors cautioned that once the chemicals get into the water, they're very difficult to get out, adding that most wastewater treatments available do not effectively remove them. A fault with the study also lies in available data. It may be even more widespread as experts lacked information on drinking water from smaller public water systems and private wells that serve up to a third of the U.S. population. For more on this story, check FoxNewsHealth.com. House Call for Health, I'm Alex Hine, Fox News.
Mark Baird. My name is Terry Raposa. And we're going to talk about something that maybe a lot of people haven't been able to put their finger on or understand. But what we're going to talk about is our contract for liberty. You want to tell us what that is, Mark?
Yes. Liberty is an elusive concept, and it's a concept that a lot of people don't understand. And as a very, very well-known constitutional educator recently said, if you can't define liberty, how can you defend it? And if you cannot define tyranny, how can you defeat it? Liberty consists of the inalienable rights. These are rights that John Locke talked about hundreds of years ago, when he said that some laws were derived from God and some rights were passed into our hearts at the moment of our creation. Marcus Cicero, a Roman senator, once said that not all rights are on paper, not all laws are on paper. Some laws are written in the hearts of men. Those are the inalienable rights, our rights to life, to liberty, to property. In fact, our Bill of Rights consists of the inalienable rights. Those are the rights that were placed in the Constitution in order that government never trespass in that ground. And as we can see, 238 years later, liberty does not mean the same thing now that it once meant when the framers created the contract we call the Constitution. So we have to take ourselves back because, as Thomas Paine said, I have not but the light of history to guide my feet. I don't know what the future holds. I can only look back to see what has happened up until now. So we have to go back into history in order to understand the concept of liberty. Liberty was very important to our framers. In fact, it was the most important thing that they envisioned the Constitution protecting. First, we have a situation where we have a country and we have rulers for that country. But we have to remember that government didn't come before the people. The people came before government. People created the contract with government, and they created it for one reason. We were willing to entrust some of our freedoms. We were willing to delegate some of that responsibility to government. Now, when you look up the word delegate, it means a temporary trust. We allowed government to take temporary control of some of our freedoms for one reason and one reason only, in order to secure and protect the liberty that we hold most dear. Now, the Founding Fathers, the way they looked at that, all property rights are inalienable rights. In other words, your right to life. Your life is your property. Well, what good is your life if someone can take your life anytime they want because you lack the tools to defend it? What good is your right to free speech, your intellectual property, if the government after the fact can tell you, well, you only have free speech in this area or in that area, or you have to go behind this building to have free speech in the free speech zone? We came originally to this country to protect our right to worship Christ in our own way. Religious freedom, a property right again. When we came to this country, we realized very quickly that we needed a common voice, because as disparate individuals and disparate groups, we lacked the unity in order to fend off foreign attackers and fend off raids on our commerce and overfishing off our shores. So literally, the people created government in order to secure the liberty that they held most dear. Now, once the King of England became intolerable, and he passed a series of laws which subjugated the people, we obviously had a rebellion starting in 1775, and it was a very bloody war. And what we did during that war was we came to some common conclusions, that we were united colonies. But as of July the 2nd, not July the 4th, like a lot of people believe, the Lee Amendment was actually adopted, or the Declaration of Independence was adopted on July the 2nd. And on July the 2nd, we declared ourselves free from subjugation of Great Britain. We declared the United Colonies were now the free and sovereign states of the United States, equal on the world stage to any other national government. And as those people, we created a government in order to protect the liberties that we hold most dear. Now, here's the important part in this jurisdictional chain. People came before government. People created government in order to accomplish certain things. And most of those things were external to our borders. We wanted common voice in foreign attacks, war, peace, treaties, to regulate foreign commerce. That's what the national government was designed to do. Well, let's fast forward about 10 years or so. And now we come to the place where we, the sovereign and independent states of the United States, created by the people, states, federal government, we the people, in order to create a more perfect union. That's a very interesting statement. When you really look at that and you read it word for word, you ask yourself, why did they say that? Why didn't they just say, we the people, in order to create a union? They said a more perfect union. That's interesting. The reason is because we had a union before the Constitution, and it didn't work. We had the Articles of Confederation. We had 10 presidents of the United States before George Washington. You don't learn that in school anymore. Your children are not being taught liberty in school anymore. So when the Articles of Confederation were enacted, it was very clear very quickly that they weren't going to work. They didn't serve the people. Here's where our ultimate jurisdiction comes from. As signers of that contract, when the contract failed to serve the people, we abolished it. And we, the people, in order to form a more perfect union, created the Constitution of the United States. When we created that Constitution, we, the people, as sovereign states, the product of that Constitution was the federal government. And literally in the state of California. Why did the people of the state of California form this state? Why didn't we just stick with Mexico? Why didn't we leave things the way they were? Well, when you read the preamble to the Constitution, in other words, the reason we created Constitution, that's what the preamble says. Why do we need to do this? We, the people of the state of California, grateful to Almighty God for our freedom and to secure it, that freedom, we create this Constitution. So we, the people of the state of California, in order to secure our liberty, created the state of California. Well, by inference, what is the state of California's purpose? Its purpose is to secure our liberty. And how does it do that? The state of California is supposed to stand between the people and the product of the Constitution, the federal government. States created the federal government, not the other way around. Is the federal government now superior to its creators? Is the state of California superior to its creators? Who are the creators of the contract? The people. Are we now less than the government we created? Do we have a government that's supposed to serve us, or do we have a government now that is superior to us and subjugates us? That's the reason for the contract, to secure liberty. And in the Constitution, in the final paragraph of the Declaration of Independence, we are securing liberty at the cost of our blood, our treasure, and our sacred honor. The Constitution of the United States. When government fails to serve the people, it's their duty and responsibility to abolish it and institute forms of government more favorable. Article 1, Section 1 of the California Constitution. We're born free and independent beings, and we have certain inalienable rights. Those rights supersede statutes, supersede regulations, supersede legislation. They are rights given us by God. like the preamble says. And we form this Constitution in order to protect those inalienable rights, those liberties. Because without liberty, what do you care about the money? The government won't allow you to keep the money. Without liberty, what do you care about property? It's meaningless. You don't own your property, you just rent it from the government. And the minute you stop paying that rent, they're going to take your property away. If you don't have liberty, none of the rest of it matters. Article 2, Section 1 of the California Constitution. All just power is derived from the people, and whenever government fails to serve the people, they have the right to alter that government or abolish it. So the people in this picture have all of the power, and government's only purpose is to serve the people. Well, I asked the people of the state of Jefferson, of the 13, 14, 15, however many counties want liberty in the North State, does the government of California serve you? Because it does not serve me. And we need to form a constitutional republic that serves the individual, that protects his right to property, that protects his liberty, because liberty is free. You didn't pay for it. It was a gift. It was a gift from your fathers and your forefathers. And they paid for it with their blood, their treasure, and their sacred honor. And what is the cost of that liberty? Eternal vigilance. And if we don't secure liberty for our posterity the way it was secured for us, we have no one but ourselves to blame when our children and our grandchildren grow up in a place that we don't even recognize. We envision a state where the counties have the lion's share of the power, where you, the individual, instructs your elected representative directly in meetings where you can see him and look him in the eye, him or her, and you tell them, we are in a position to educate our children, not someone 500 or 2,700 miles away. We want our children to learn about morality and liberty. We want them to learn mathematics and science and art and history, and not the way Common Core teaches it. We in our counties know that we can make responsible use of our resources, and we have the power to do that. We're here. We have the wisdom, the knowledge, the local talent, the local governmental support to do those things. We should not be directed from 900 or 3,000 miles away. That's what the contract represents in the state of Jefferson. And that contract, contrary to California's Constitution, which has been altered 521 times in 163 years, the Constitution of the state of Jefferson is going to be extremely difficult to change, so that successive loads of politicians won't be able to alter the contract away from the Constitution of liberty and to embrace the cause of the day. And Judge Posner from the Seventh Circuit said it is possible for evil to enter the legal system when jurists embrace the cause of the day. We must secure liberty, and we must safeguard liberty at all costs, because without liberty, none of the rest of it matters.
Time has come.
Well, all right. That was Mark Baird and Terry Raposa discussing the contract with liberty. And I have a quote here: participating in the struggle for liberty may cost you a lot, but doing nothing will cost you everything. So we are doing something about that here in Sutter County, and in 21 Northern California counties. We are separating from the state of California and becoming the state of Jefferson. And Mark Baird and Terry Raposa gave you a great synopsis of why we are doing that. If you want to engage in the process, then there's a lot you can do. You can write letters, make phone calls, put out yard signs, wear your Jefferson gear, and get out there and get the word of Jefferson known. If you need T-shirts, bumper stickers, decals, any sort of Jefferson gear, go to the Patriot Store. That's on Butte House Road in the Target Shopping Center. You can go in there and see Tom and Debbie Thornton. They are great supporters of the state of Jefferson. But you will also find a lot of prepper supplies in the Patriot Store, ammo, camping gear, all kinds of fun stuff. So go in there and see Going to the Patriot Store on Butte House Road. And thanks again to City Cafe and CC Cellar and Suds for sponsoring Radio Free Jefferson. I gave you some bum information a few minutes ago. I thank you for whoever called in and set me straight on that meet and greet with Jason Reichert. It's from 4 to 6 p.m. tomorrow night at CC Cellar and Suds. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the website up here in front of my fat face just to make sure I get it right this time. Cellar and Suds, 664 Plymouth Street. That's between Bridge and Highway 20, and more specifically between Center Street and Tea Garden on Plymouth Street. 4 to 6 p.m. Suggested donation is $25. If you have any questions, you can call Larry Verga at 755-4409 or Bill Beeler at 415-0343. Or you can go to Jason Reichert's Facebook page called Jason Reichert for City Council. Tomorrow, now there's a chance that this show will be airing on Sunday morning as a rebroadcast. So if you're listening to this on Sunday morning, the event is tonight. If you're listening to it right now, it's Saturday morning, it's tomorrow night. So anyway. And then Monday night, come out to Church of Glad Tidings for the Sutter Buttes Tea Party Patriots event, where the Cowboy Libertarian Patrick Dornson will be speaking. Now, there are some events coming up in the state of Jefferson for you to get out there and mingle with other like-minded patriots and let's find some other people who are interested in the state of Jefferson. Our next meeting is August 29th for the Sutter County chapter, and we want to pack the room full of state of Jefferson supporters. Coming up on August 8th, there is a Brownsville Blues Festival going on in the Brownsville Amphitheater on Ponderosa Way. Admission is $15 at the gate. Children 12 and under are free. That's on September 4th, 2016. And the event is sponsored by the Yuba Feather Community Services, Inc., Gold Eagle Market Brownsville, and Christopher Hayhoe Real Estate. For more information, you can contact Clay Thompson at 530-675-0195. Now, I don't know if any of those sponsors of the Brownsville Blues Festival support the state of Jefferson or not. I don't want to make it sound like they do. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. If you have the time to go out there and find out for us, let's see, on Sunday, September 4th, I might be able to make it out there. It's a Sunday event. Most events take place on Saturday around here, and I can't make it to them. This is on September 4th, so I just may make it out there, and I'll talk to those guys myself. And if you can help me talk to them, I'll find out where they stand on the state of Jefferson, get them in the fold. And then on September 9th through 11th, the Civil War days are coming to Marysville. This is from September 9th through 11th. Marysville's Mary Aaron Museum and the reenactors of the American Civil War will be holding the first annual Civil War Days in Beckworth Riverfront Park. Proceeds will benefit the Mary Aaron Museum and the Civil War reenactors in their ongoing efforts to provide historically accurate information. If you are interested in being a vendor, call Ken Freeman at 530-415-3893. 415-3893. That's Ken Freeman, and find out about the how you can be a vendor at the Civil War Days in Marysville, Beckworth Riverfront Park, September 9th through 11th. Well, all right. I mentioned that coming up on KMYC Radio after Radio Free Jefferson, it's live with Lou from 9 to noon. From noon to 2 p.m., it's A Great American Story with Bob Day. From 2 to 4 p.m., it's The Good Life with Mike, the Wine Guy Rayford. And Mike should be calling in here pretty soon to do give us an update on what's going on up there in Downeyville. He's at an event called Brewfest. And Downeyville is a real neat part of the state of Jefferson. I was up there probably a good 10 years ago. My wife and I were up there and spent a weekend there. It's right on a river. I'm not sure which river it's on. It's almost more of a creek than a river, but we did some gold panning there. It's out in the woods. It's just a real neat little town, maybe not more than 100 people or so. So they're having a brew fest up there, so I think that town is just going to be, it's just going to be flooded, but it should be a fun event. And Mike will be calling us in here shortly to give us an update on that event and let us know what's going on, when it starts, how long it runs, who's involved, all that good stuff. Well, one of the things I want to start doing on Radio Free Jefferson is something called 51 Things to Do in the state of Jefferson. My wife and I were up at Mendocino County a couple of weekends ago. We camped out at the Westport Beach RV Park. And it seems like whenever you go somewhere, there's always a publication either in the hotel room or, in this case, in our trailer, called 101 Things to Do in such and such. And this place is 101 Things to Do in Mendocino County. So I wanted to start a little segment called 51 Things to Do in the state of Jefferson. So the first thing I want to talk about is our stay at Westport Beach RV Park. It's right on the ocean. It's about 10 miles north of Fort Bragg, and you can tent camp, you can trailer camp, you can camp on the beach, and it's just you're in the nice cool weather of the Pacific Ocean. Fort Bragg is right on Highway 1. Westport Beach is also on Highway 1, about 10 miles north of Fort Bragg, and there's all kinds of neat things to do there. There's a recreation room for if the kids get bored with the beach. There's a rec room there. If you're going to be staying there for any length of time, there's a laundry room. It's real easy to get to the beach. Basically, the campground is essentially on the beach, and there's a playground there for the kids. There's a store there for you to buy any provisionals. Plus, Fort Bragg is just a few miles down the road if you need to go into town for some reason. There's a whole host of wineries and craft breweries in the area. The Skunk Train is not too far from there, and it's a pretty. I think the prices are pretty reasonable for the campground. Some campgrounds or some of the campsites have water hookups. Others don't. Same thing with the RV sites. We had a full RV hookup, but there is also a number of shower and bathrooms there. So it's pretty neat. So head up to Westport Beach RV Park. There's still plenty of time to get out of the heat. It's supposed to be in the hundreds, I think, for the next 5 days or so. 100, 102, 104 down here. Westport Beach is only about 4 hours from here, depending on how fast you drive and which way you go. And get out of the heat, enjoy some of the beauty of state of Jefferson's coastline. And what we did is we rented a trailer from a place called Coast Vacation Trailers, and they're also in Fort Bragg. It's real handy. They deliver the trailer for you. They set everything up for you, so all you do is come in there and unload all your gear, throw it in the trailer, stay for about however long you're going to stay. We stayed for 4 days, and then when you're done, all you do is clean it up, and the trailer ferries come while you're gone, and they take it back to where it came from. So 51 things to do in the state of Jefferson. Head on up to Westport Beach RV Park, and just north of Fort Bragg. Well, all right, we're coming up on Monday again. It's the Cowboy Libertarian at the Sutter Buttes Tea Party Patriots meeting. Tomorrow night, it's the meet and greet with Jason Reichert for Yuba City Council from 4 to 6 p.m. out at Cellar and Suds on Plymouth Street. And then there's a lot of local events. You can go to eterritorial.com. They've got a lot of great listings of what's going on in this area for you to get involved with. There's a number of social, I guess you call them social organizations. You can get involved with the Lions Club, Kiwanis, Rotary, any social group to get the word out about the state of Jefferson. Any effort you make is greatly appreciated. It's going to take a concerted effort by everyone to get involved. Not everybody is gifted in writing letters to the editor, but if you are, we would appreciate if you did. You can make phone calls to your legislators by going to soj51.net and clicking on the 51sters button, and you'll get a list of legislators to call for that day, so we can flood their offices with calls about the state of Jefferson. We want them to get on board, and in the meantime, we're going forward with our lawsuit. The lawsuit will not, in and of itself, bring about the state of Jefferson, but it will put the ball in the legislature's court, because we have a good case to present that our vote is being diluted by nature of the way our senators are elected up here. The Constitution guarantees us a Republican form of government, which means each county should have at least one senator representing it, regardless of the population. Because not all decisions are made by government are based on population. There's geographical areas. Say again. Couldn't hear you. One more time. Oh, equal. There we go. Exactly. And so that's what we're looking for in the state of Jefferson is equality and representation. We need a system of checks and balances with our more populated counties to keep them from running roughshod over us by imposing taxes on us that they don't pay themselves, whether it be the fire tax or the mileage tax they're trying to push on us. They have no idea what it takes to live up in this area. They have no concept in the large population centers what it takes to get food on their table. They don't know that it takes land. It takes lots of land. It takes lots of resources, and so our lives are different up here in Northern California than they are in Southern California, and we just need to have our voice, our concerns voiced in the matter, so we don't get run over by Southern California. Well, all right, we're coming up on the end of the show already. I can't believe that, man. Oh man. Let's see, Mike. I guess I'm not sure what's happening. I guess he's having trouble getting hold of us. Okay. So Mike is getting online. He's going to be getting a hold of us on Skype here in a couple of minutes, and if we don't get caught up there, he will give us a call on so we are standing by for Mike the Wine Guy Rayford to give us an update on what's going on there in Downeyville at the Brewfest, and then tune in from 2 to 4 p.m. to listen to The Good Life with Mike the Wine Guy. And, well, we'll just see how that goes. So give us a call when you get a chance. Mike, I can't really call you while I'm doing a radio show, but anyway, yes, okay. I got it, bud. I got it. Thank you very much. Appreciate the input. But alrighty, so now let's see what else we got coming up here on the calendar of events for the state of Jefferson. Okay, let's see here. Lost my place. Okay, here's an event you can get involved with, or a process you can get involved with. It's called VetoGunmageddon.org, and this is another effort to overturn an effort by, again, large population centers that do not understand that we need a way to defend ourselves up here in Northern California. We do not have cops on every corner if we own a large tract of land. It may take, in some cases, the cops may just never show up because they don't have the resources to show up. So we have to defend ourselves. And So they've got a number of gun laws that we are being forced on us that leave us defenseless. It's not all about hunting. For some reason, I don't know where that idea comes from, that the Second Amendment is all about protecting our right to hunt. It's about protecting ourselves from not only from criminals, but from a tyrannical government. So we are going to work on getting those gun laws overturned. And you can get involved by going to vetogunmageddon.org and signing a petition and making your voice heard on the laws that are being passed, that are being forced on us to deprive us of our Second Amendment rights to defend ourselves. And so go do that. vetogunmageddon.org. Okay, well, we're coming up to the end of the show here. I want to thank you for tuning in to Radio Free Jefferson. Stay tuned. Next, it's Live with Lou, and then The Great American Story and The Good Life with Mike the Wine Guy Rayford. And during the week, tune in to Agenda 21 Radio with Paul Preston from 7 to 10 p.m. Thank you all, and we'll catch you next week. The time has come for 51.
What's on my mind? I said what I believe in my soul, ain't what I see with my eyes, and we can't turn our back this time. I am a patriot, and I love my country, because my country is all I know. I wanna be with my family, people who understand me. I've got nowhere else to go. And the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous someday. And I was talking with my sister, she looked so fine. I said, baby, what's on your mind? She said, I want to run like the lion, released from the cages, released from the rages, burning in my heart tonight. Yeah. And I ain't no communist, and I ain't no capitalist, and I ain't no socialist, and I ain't no imperialist, and I ain't no Democrat, sure ain't no Republican. I only know one party, and this is freedom. I am a patriot, and I love my country, because my country is all I know. And the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous someday. And the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens for the righteous, and the river opens. I wanna run like the lion for the righteous, and the river opens. Release from the cage for the righteous, and the river opens. Release from the cage for the righteous, and the river opens.
Bob Day, creator and host of The Great American Story. Join me every Saturday from noon to 2 and enjoy the true and unusual stories of our exceptional nation's amazing past and the people who made it happen. That's The Great American Story, every Saturday from noon to 2, right here on AM 1410 KMYC, The Patriot. And in the meantime, visit us on the web at thegreatamericансtorywithbobday.com.
Hi, Mike Rayford here, a.k.a. Mike the Wine Guy, host of The Good Life Show, where we discuss food, wine, travel, and lifestyle every Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. right here on KMYC, 1410 a.m. You can also listen online at KMYCradio.com and MikeTheWineGuy.com, as well as follow me on Facebook. That's The Good Life Show every Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. on KMYC, 1410 a.m. The Patriot.
You're listening to the station that's been owned and operated by your friends and neighbors for over 72 years.
Big 14. 5 in a row. Come on, baby. Let's boogie.
Number one then, and number one in local talk now.
Join me, Paul Preston, for Agenda 21 Radio.
I'm Bob Day, host of The Great American Story.
And listening to The Good Life with me, Mike the Wine Guy.
Hey, this is Live with Lou, broadcasting high atop Mount Huth.
KMYC, 1410 AM, Marysville, Yuba City.
The state of Jefferson, more than a state of mind. KMYC 1410 AM, The Patriot.
This is a Fox News Alert. I'm Paul Stevens. At least 2 people are dead, dozens more rescued as heavy